Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Vermillion. Some of my hobbies include not posting for months on end and sulking away in my office while continuously telling myself this channel is a lost cause. Anyway, I know why you clicked on this video, and that is because you want to know how to beat the Forsaken campaign. There we go, that's the one. Can it even be called an Easter egg anymore at this point with how fast they're solved? That's a discussion for another video. Anyway, as always, there will be timestamps in the description for points I will be sharing, including steps, tips, and ways to just go about playing this map. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe if and only if this video helped you, and without further ado, let's get into the juicy bits. Right off the bat, Forsaken is a pretty straightforward map. Just go ahead and follow the icons on your heads-up display until you reach any town. This is the first major spot where items can be picked up, and these areas will be marked on your HUD after you initially find the broken teleporter, but if you need help finding the locations in the general area, here is a list. For the circuit board, you can find it in these locations: on the crates left of the arcade entrance from the first floor of Video Store, underneath the stairs in the same room, and in the same room again right before the arcade room on this shelf. For the focusing lens, you can find it in these locations: in the mannequin's hands, on the candy bar shelf, and on the bench underneath the Inspire and Snake posters. For the Fryer cage, the locations are all behind the counter in Burger Town, behind the glass display, on the counter next to the soda fountain machine, and on the right side of the counter. For the cathode ray tube, this can be found in the TV store, on the second shelf from the top, to the right of the AUG wall buy, and lastly on the small shelf to the right of the door exiting towards the broken portal. After collecting all 4 parts, bring them back to the broken portal and fix it. Continue on through the map at this point, and once you reach the observation tower, you will want to turn off the lockdown. Once this is pressed, you can immediately turn around and activate this glowing button near the shutters to initiate the first cutscene of the map. After the cutscene is over, there will now be 3 major crystals on the map with orbs flying around them. I highly recommend perking up and getting a pack-a-punched weapon before initiating this next step. While you're getting set up, you will also need to obtain the Crysalax, which can be done in 3 ways. To get it from Trials, which is annoying, the mystery box, also annoying, or to craft it, that's the one I want. So let's go over how to craft the wonder weapon, which is divided into 3 crystals you need to get. The first crystal can be obtained by using a flamethrower against a tormentor. After making a nice crispy tormentor chicken tendy, it will drop a piece of the wonder weapon. The second crystal can be obtained by having the abomination shoot its electricity at a random ether crystal around the map. If done correctly, the crystal will explode to reveal the second part. The third is obtained by initiating a survival wave. After turning off the lockdown and opening power, a round or 2 will go by, and then eventually you will hear an announcement that an anomaly is opening. You will then be told that it is located on Main Street. So what you want to do is just head over to Jim's Donuts near Juggernog, and there will be a protected crystal. You will then need to walk close or get on top of the crystal to spawn in different waves of enemies. Survive the attack and then walk close again to prompt the next wave. Eventually, after rinsing and repeating and finishing off every wave, the barrier will disappear and you may pick up the crystal. Now that you have collected all 3 crystals, head on over to the amplifier. On the backside of the Krig wall buy, a container of water can be found. Interact with the container and the crystal will drop in. At this point, you need to get roughly 10 to 15 zombie kills using any melee weapon near it. Doing so will result in the Crysalax to come up from the water for you to obtain. Also note that during your prep time, you need to collect Neutralizer parts. These parts are a little more hidden, however, not unnoticeable. The first Neutralizer part can be obtained by initiating a lockdown near the initially broken portal. There are 4 processing tubes that can be activated, and each player in your game needs to interact at the same time on the panels. There are 4 total and will show a prompt whenever you are close, so if you are solo, you only need to interact with 1, and if you have 2 players, you will need to interact with 2 panels at the same time, and so on and so forth with many other players. After completing the lockdown, you will receive the fuel canister. The second Neutralizer part can be found by taking an abomination to the boardroom. Hey, Future Vermillion here. As soon as the lockdown is lifted, the abomination will actually spawn in here if you walk in the boardroom / the office, so you can use him to get your Neutralizer part and your crystal. Back to the video. And have him run into the left wall facing the entrance. Above there is something hanging from the ceiling, so you will need to have him use his charge attack and hit the wall. This will reveal the housing unit. The third and final part can be found inside the TV store. However, you need to go to the arcade first with either dead wire on your weapon or using Tesla Storm. Inside the arcade, you can find an arcade machine called Grand Prix. There are multiple, but you only need to turn on one. So have a zombie come up close and use dead wire or Tesla Storm to shock the zombie, which will then chain the electricity to the arcade machine. Now that it is turned on, you may walk up to it and buy a special RCXD. Drive this RCXD over to the TV store and drive into the grate behind the counter. Once on the other side, turn right and drive to the corner. You will then want to jump and detonate the RCXD to reveal the monitoring device. Now that every part is collected and you have the wonder weapon, you may proceed to challenge each crystal that has now spawned around the map. These crystals can be found in the spawn room, the amplifier, and storage zone 5 on the rooftops. For each crystal, you will need to shoot the orbs flying around them. However, when you start shooting the orbs, quite a bit of zombies will start spawning in, but most importantly, each time the wave of enemies starts spawning in, if you see an abomination, keep it. You will need it, as once you shoot all 3 orbs, you will need to break the crystal with the Crysalax to pick up a crystal fragment. Pick up the fragment and find your abomination. When the abomination is facing you and its mouths are open, throw the fragment to feed it. Once its tail turns red, kill it to drop a catalyzed crystal shard. You must have the fuel canister to pick it up. Now repeat this step at each crystal location. Once you have collected all 3 catalyzed crystal shards, make your way over to Main Street to craft the Neutralizer. This will prompt dialogue and start warming up the device. After it's done warming up, you may interact with it to start heading to the boss room. During this step, you will be escorting the Neutralizer through the ether. On the path, there will be orange crystals that you will have to run out of the protection of the orb to go and grab. All I recommend during this escort step is to have the Crysalax out and don't miss a single crystal. Otherwise, you might be stuck like this right at the end and you'll have to run all the way back for a crystal, and that can be devastating. No, like you could die. After escorting the Neutralizer, you will be presented with Pack-a-Punch, a crafting station, Wonder Fizz, and an arsenal. Go ahead and get prepped with what you want. I recommend a death machine, Casimir's, mule kick, anything that gives you ammo or a chance to conserve ammo and kill. This boss isn't too difficult to handle, but let's go over the general scope of the fight. During Forsaken's first phase, the shoulders will be vulnerable to damage, and Samantha will be flying around the room requesting essence, aka kill zombies in the circle below her. I recommend breaking Forsaken's armor first and then contributing to Samantha's Iridium Siren Essence drug addiction, in which she will channel that energy into the nearest laser cannon to her. Once the armor has been shot off and a cannon is charged, use that to shoot his now weak spots where his armor was before. Do that on both sides and you will move on to the second phase. In the second phase, there will be more special and elite enemies bothering you and more environmental AoE damage. Just avoid the new additions and this time focus the crystal on Forsaken's torso. Do the same thing as first phase with the continuation of Samantha's essence addiction and charging cannons to deal damage after breaking the crystal. Once the torso is destroyed, you will then move to the head. Rinse and repeat, and after defeating Forsaken, a kill AoE effect will occur, but don't worry, that's just a cutscene trying to kill you. Just live for a little bit and then you will get your happy ending, I promise. So now you know how to do this Easter egg, but let's go over some general tips and recommendations. Initially, everyone's default has a high chance to be an M16 or a Gallo. While the M16 is a fair choice, the Gallo I couldn't really recommend, as you cannot use it to shoot the crystals in the boss fight besides the torso. You technically can attempt to shoot the shoulder crystals, but good luck with the horde of zombies behind you. So personally, especially if you don't want to rely on Trials RNG, I recommend running Ring of Fire and your favorite melee weapon. That way you can have a melee weapon for the Wonder Weapon, Soul Box, and Ring of Fire so you can kill the abomination early with ease. Also, you can maximize points as per usual with melees. Another thing I wanted to go over are the arcade machines. During your gameplay, you may encounter arcade tokens, or you may have bought an arcade token for 10,000 points in the arcade, just so you know they're ripping you off. Using these arcade tokens can be vital for early completions of the Wonder Weapons and parts. So for example, since you need a flamethrower to kill the tormentors for a crystal part, you could take a token and go play Noctur on Toten. If you can't seem to finish waves in Noct, pro tip, aim for the head and find where the zombies spawn from. The 1911 will one-tap headshot, and if you don't miss your shot too much, you can finish it with more than 45 seconds remaining all the time. So complete all 3 waves and you will receive enough to craft a flamethrower to get those crystal parts early on. Another thing you could use your tokens for is the Dragon Rocket minigame via the Der Eisendrache machine to receive a chance at high rarity weapons and perks along with salvage. And the last thing you can use your arcade token for is Enduro. Go ahead and go play Enduro and get good at controlling an RCXD, you scrub, but no, like it's nearly impossible to control the RC cars using keyboard and mouse sometimes.
items.
Another thing that you could do if you don't mind going a couple extra rounds is buying Death Perception early to increase your salvage gains for faster upgrades. And one last thing to note is that you can do any of these steps out of order besides the shutter button press, so be a multitasker and don't let rounds go to waste. That is all the main information I wanted to share about this map. Just play at your own pace and you'll get the Easter egg cleared in no time flat. If you like this video and it helped you, come join us over on Discord. I'm always trying to find new people to connect and play with, so don't be a stranger and have an amazing time with whatever you're going to be up to.